How many people have been servers where their income relies on how much tips they make each shift? If you haven't, then you're most likely the person that's leaving the tip. One of the most important jobs in the food industry are the servers. The servers are important because they're the ones taking care of the guests and making sure their experience is worthwhile. I've been working in the food industry for 6 years now, where I'm taking care of guests and making sure they have a good experience. As a server, I am responsible for taking orders, cleaning and serving the tables, cash handling, and many tasks in the back that the guests don't see. Servers work hard for their guests and want to be rewarded for their hard work. I'll be discussing why servers need to be tipped, how to properly tip the servers, and how they benefit from the tips. Let's first begin with why you need to tip the servers. At any restaurant you go to, servers need to be tipped, whether it's in your local state or it's out of the country. The federal minimum wage for most places is $7.25, but according to the U.S. Department of Labor, servers get a federal minimum wage of $2.13 an hour since they make more than $30 in tips a month. The $2.13 an hour is not taxed, so when it is taxed at the end of the month, servers are basically left with a $0 check. They also are responsible for tipping out bartenders for making alcohol drinks, and sometimes hosts if they're responsible for cleaning the servers' tables. In the article, Why You Need to Tip, states that in this right here, that not only the tips are based off of the sales, so not only does 8% go to the government, they also have to tip out the bartenders and hosts. So if they're not tipped out, they have to use tips from other tables to tip the bartender and host out, which essentially they're losing money and not making any. Now that you know why you need to tip the servers, let's discuss how to properly leave the tip. Everyone should be educated on how to leave a tip, and I believe that everyone should leave a minimum of 15% tip. The article, To Tip or Not to Tip, states that a 15% tip is an average service, and a 20% tip is above average. Even though tips are not required, everyone should consider doing at least a minimum of 15% tip. And also, when you're deciding how to calculate your tip that you wish to leave, you can either do it on your phone electronically. This is how I do it because I'm terrible at math. I will type it in my phone, for example, 15% of the $45 bill. Then Google will provide you the answer of $6.75. Or if you're really good at math, you can do it yourself. And for example, if you want to leave a 20% tip on a $45 $86 check, you can do this. You would first round up. I kind of wrote this down. My handwriting's terrible, but $45.86 check needs to be rounded up to $46. You would then multiply 46 by 2, which comes from your 20%. It leaves you with $92. The 92, you would then move the decimal point to the left, which would leave you with $9.20 tip. Leaving a 10% tip on a $45 check would be a $4.50 tip, which this is not enough for employees. It's not enough for servers to tip out the other employees as well as the 8% that the government takes out. In the article, an open letter states that when you do this, that the servers are basically working for free because they're not making any money because they're in the hole with the other three things that they need to tip out. And lastly, also before I move on, in my PowerPoint, I included a little picture right here, and where you can see that they have options. It says like a quick guide on total if you do like 15, 18, or 20%. Most places now have that. At my restaurant, we do that now. It honestly is very easy. You can go off that and you don't even have to calculate it for yourself. But lastly, we'll just discuss why tipping benefits the servers. And servers financially benefit from a 15 to 20% tip because they are able to pay their bills, save money, or afford to go on trips or other activities they wish to do. Also, for example, I would like everyone to imagine you go into a restaurant and it's very busy, and you sit down and you notice that your server has about 5 tables. Let's say the tables have at least 4 people. This is 20 people for one server, and that's a lot of work to do for that one person. Even though you see that the server is working hard, is very busy with all the other tables they have going on, you still decide to leave the 15 to 20% tip. Not only as a guest are you benefiting off of this, because honestly, when I tip a good amount to somebody, it makes me feel good about myself. But you're also changing this server's whole mood for the night. Like, you leaving that tip, you are changing their rough, tired, busy night into a good one, because they know that you are, I promise you that they know that they're not giving you the worthwhile experience that you deserve. But even though that this happened, a lot of people think that like the restaurant is wrong because they are short-staffed, they need to hire more people. But a lot of people don't know that our employees call out, and so that leaves the restaurant short-staffed, which led to this person having to have 20 people to take care of. So you're not taking money away from them because the restaurant, they're hurting from not having enough people. So you're not taking it out on them. They're still getting the tip that they deserve. They can't help that other people called out for whatever reason they did. But also, guests can also benefit and servers can benefit, because a lot of restaurants have regulars where people come in and they like coming there, they like to enjoy the food, and specific servers will get regulars where that guest wants them. They like the service they have, they enjoy talking to them, they build a relationship with that server. And a lot of restaurants who notice this will give that guest a discount or so. Like, I know my restaurant will usually do like a 10 or 20% discount off of their food, make it cheaper on them, because they know that they're a good customer and they know they're going to come back, and they enjoy having that relationship with that guest. Tipping the 15 to 20% for the servers it helps everyone. They financially can afford stuff. The guest creates relationships with the restaurant where their meals can be cheaper, but nobody wants to leave not having money for something they worked hard for. In conclusion, servers need to be tipped because they don't make enough money hourly, and they must tip out other employees. Everyone needs to be educated on how to properly leave a tip, and servers benefit financially when they're tipped 15 to 20%, and they have a relationship with the guest. The next time, I challenge all of you for next time you go out to the restaurant to observe how hardworking these servers are, and to tip the 15 to 20% on your bill. Because let's be honest, if you're a server, you wouldn't want to be hardworking and taking care of all these tables and someone leave you a 10% tip.